Minutes for August 20th, 2024.
Second?
Second. Okay, official reports. You just the one plan board?
Yeah, well, I had planning board and the capital improvement plan committee. Okay, a couple things from that. I guess I am the ex officio now. I didn't realize that happened a couple of meetings ago, so I missed most of the meeting because I just went for the tail end. But they're still like getting plans to meet with department heads, and they know it's budget season. And the other development is that there's a new member on that committee. It's Catherine Mulholland. She's there representing the budget committee. So now that budget committee is represented, thank you very much, budget committee. And so that'll continue in front of the planning board. The planning board didn't have much going on for it, but I did bring up a topic that it's really not in the planning board's purview, but it's more in ours, and it's one of our ordinances that we have, namely the composting toilet ordinance. Now, I know a couple of members of the planning board actually have composting toilets, so they are somewhat knowledgeable on it, including Angus. And I think it's something that we need to get some advice on it, because I think I'm looking it over. A lot of the regulations, I don't know where they came from, but I'm assuming that they're based on reason, I hope. And but the problem that everybody seems to have with it is the setbacks, like 400 feet from any drinking well water, and 400 feet from any property line, and 400 feet from any open surface waterway. Well, that basically excludes probably more than half. You know, from what I understand, a composting toilet is cleaner than a outhouse. Probably less smelly too. So I'm going to. I've asked Angus to kind of help me out with some advice, since he has had one for a long time, and I think at some point we had to take a look at whether we want the thing or we want to alter it. I would favor altering it rather than tossing it out. Why get rid of an ordinance, because it serves some good. And if this is the way it is, then that's the way it is, but I'd like to look into it. And then I'll report back to the board at that time. So that's my ex officio report for the evening.
So you went out there in non-public for that?
Well, that's if needed. I didn't know, Steve, did you anything to report from that interview?
Yeah, and I do have something to report back, but I wouldn't, I think it needs to be done in non-public.
Okay.
Now, the gentleman that I interviewed, is he aware that we're going to be talking about him?
I have not talked to him.
Okay. So, I don't want to have, I mean, I've been the object of this before, where people had non-publics and I was the topic. And I'd rather not go into a non-public without that person either knowing that we're going to be talking about him. But I think that we need to hold off on offering that position until we have a discussion. Either, and maybe that would require inviting him to come in and see the whole board.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, that's how I feel, and I don't, like I said, I don't want to go into non-public without.
Can you tell us what you interviewed for? What position?
There's a position for a road
Road crew.
road crew. It's the non-CDL member of the road crew.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you want it on an off meeting time, or do you want it for the next meeting?
Whatever is most convenient for him, if he could do it at, the next meeting's 2 weeks away, so, and it's his employment
Okay.
that is potential, so if he wants to come in early, I think we could make some time available. I know that if we have a lot of non-publics, starts a little buzz around town, but this is important town business that we have to make a decision on. Like somebody was saying, the leaves are turning red, and won't be long before that snowflake starts falling down, and we need the manpower to take care of the roads. So it's kind of important that we do this as soon as we can. Plus, he doesn't want to be hanging.
Oh, that's fine, I can work with that. Do you
So-
guys have any restrictions? I already know what his is.
I'll work around leaves and
You good? Pretty open?
pretty much.
Should be.
Yeah, we're pretty open until you make the time. Then we'll tell you we can't make it.
Right,
We'll do
exactly.
our best.
It's fine.
It may be just the two of them in the meeting. I don't think I'm gonna be able to join anyone.
Okay. Well, I'll see what I've got and then we'll go from there.
Next Monday, I won't be in town. Tuesday, we have elections. Then pretty much, yeah, my actual next day off will be the following Wednesday or Thursday. If you two don't want to get together with them and talk to them, that'd be good.
Yeah, and if it's us there, then we can decide, basically.
Right,
Okay, because I can't do that by my lonesome.
right.
Yeah, current use application.
Okay, so this current use application was submitted back in March, and Avatar has had it, and they ended up finally getting back to me with a letter of recommendation. There's apparently some missing information on the form that they require, so they have recommended to deny it this time until they get additional information. Basically, it's like a sketch of the map, I guess, it's missing.
Yeah, they do need a map.
Yeah, so,
Okay, this is for map 2, lot 488, and block 920, map 3, and lot 551. So, looks like that's basically all they're lacking is the layout.
mhm.
Okay. Hey, Jay?
All motion to deny it. To decide or no.
Okay, second.
So you might deny it and you guys sign it, well. Steve, was that you that seconded?
It was.
Okay. You agreed with that. Do you want to work with how you try it? How is that sounding? Is it too thick?
No, it's fine.
Okay. So I don't work with that.
Better color of it.
Okay, last time I said I talked to Bob. I did talk to Bob, and he would like to come down and take a look at it. And so, is that something you'd like to work with him on?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's try and set up a meeting between at least you and him. And he's open to, you know, all suggestions. And, he was at my house with his equipment. He's pretty good with that stuff, I must say. And I don't think it's much that we need like a bigger swale. You know, what we're talking about, are we putting a catchment drain or something like that?
I was just thinking digging a trench and putting like a drainage, so it's like, takes that, little dip, lets water go down by the tramp house instead of sitting right there where
And
people
yeah,
walk.
It just sits right in the walkway there, yeah. Okay, so that shouldn't take too long to do.
It looked like there's already a ditch started, just so when that
Right.
lot was done, it was
Yeah.
done.
It didn't go down far enough, I don't think, so it doesn't catch the water coming off the parking lot. It just kind of sits there. It wreaks havoc. It wreaked havoc on Pie Sale Day last year, before Thanksgiving, because there was like, this, you know, these
Trucks of water.
people who are working it have to walk through that much water to get in there was pretty bad. Okay.
Pole barn. We had agreed to have Angus drop the tree. Has anyone talked to him about him coming and doing that?
You were, last time I knew, you had called and
Yeah, I'll double check with him. And I sent you guys a picture of the door that Anton put in. It's not finished, he's not happy with it as is. He wants to finish framing it off because he used galvanized metal, so there's the edges there, so he wants to frame that all in. So he's working on that, but it's essentially the door's up.
Have them get, locks and clasps too, so we can lock those doors up.
Yeah, it's got a clasp on that,
Does it?
yeah.
Have them
Good.
get locks. I think we're
Yeah,
gonna need
I
two
actually
keys.
think he already has a lock, he just needs to make copies of the keys.
So 3 copies.
No, because if there's multiple people using it, they need to be
2
able
for
to
the
have a
office
copy.
and 1 for the cemetery department.
That's it? So anybody else that wants to access it has to access it when in there?
Yep,
Okay.
so we know what's going in there.
So that's so nobody sneaks in and fills it up with yard sale stuff again.
Okay, that's
Or
fine.
be able to say that dead animals in them. I'll cure this issue real quick.
Right, nothing on Avatar. Nothing on Johnson Lane. Junkyard should be all set. Mitchell said that the cars were gone Friday.
all he did was push him over and off the road. I think another, the next step
Okay.
should be taken. He's been given enough time.
Send that follow-up letter.
Yeah.
It was nice of them to get him off the road, but they probably came off his property and he put him on the road to begin with.
Yes, that's exactly
So
what he
it's
did.
not they're going backwards now.
Right.
We don't want to go backwards.
He's not understanding.
No.
We haven't gotten any further with the equipment inventory, so that's where it's at. Do we want to add that, composting toilet?
To the action list.
Or
Yeah, you
just
probably
the
should put
action
that in the action item list. Maybe someday we'll take care of it.
Someday.
Someday soon.
Yes.
Someday soon. I should put a word after that.
Who's gonna head that?
I will do that.
Okay. Okay. Anything else you wanna add on?
I think, I'd like to see a list for the road agent, the priority list of what needs to be done on the roads. We have Bonnie Hill, it's got the paved road that's been washed out since spring, and it hasn't been touched, and that pavement is, we're losing the pavement.
Yeah, he
That's
started doing the weekly report, which is good, so yeah, maybe the next step is getting him to do a priority,
Yeah, it's not-
things that need to be done.
Well, a list of the tasks that need to be done around town would be a good thing.
Yeah,
Because then, you know, maybe you could plan ahead for it rather than waiting until there's an issue and then reacting to it. So maybe we can be proactive, or Jeffrey can be proactive about it.
well, that's the thing, I mean, this pavement has been,
It's been a long time.
since spring,
So,
and
If
it
it-
hasn't been addressed.
well, if we could put it on the action item list, but it's got to go in front of, he's got to see that.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't
He's got
think
to see.
that's a item to go on the action items, because this is stuff for us to get done around town. This would be just talk to Jeffrey, say you need to do this and do this for us.
We've got the list of the towns, you know, that list that comes out on email, and that's where he's gonna list, it lists all the roads, and then it says which road he's gonna work on.
Right,
It's the same list, he could just go and say, Jeffrey, write down what needs to be done on these roads.
yes, but a lot of these roads, he knows what needs to be done, and nothing's done until a complaint is filed.
That's right, but at least be on paper then, and we
Right.
can have it in the office. And like, you know, sometimes these things come up and you just forget about them until it become an issue. So if they're right in front of us,
I can use that same spreadsheet. I
You can
created
use the
to do
same- the
weekly
same
work,
spreadsheet.
And he can just do it, one that's the weekly work and then the priority list of all the things that need to be
like,
done.
I know he needs winter sand, is that what you're talking about?
Well, that's, in
That's what,
addition,
that should be on the list.
exactly, and what I heard was he was not gonna go and buy winter sand this year. He was gonna use what was there, and it's like,
Well, is there enough there, do you think?
That's 2 years of not buying winter sand.
right,
Didn't buy it last year either?
No. You had enough?
Well, somebody was stockpiling that pretty good.
yeah, I
I
mean,
don't
there
know.
was quite a bit of stockpile, but then still,
We had more sand than what we needed.
yeah,
That was coming from before his time, probably.
right.
Probably for a good reason though. Because then we have ice storms that
Well, that's it, if he don't buy his sand, then usually it's bought
Yeah.
in the spring. Yeah,
No, that's a good point. We'd better have too much than to run out. And the later you wait, the harder it may be to
right,
get. So
I mean, we all know how, private contractors are, booked and,
I know. You just don't know how the winter's gonna go either. like you said
Exactly.
before. I know we had
Yeah.
one road agent at one time, used up half that stuff before December was even over.
right.
Right,
Yep.
bunch of stuff.
that's all for.
My spreadsheet might be attached to some of these, but if not, it's no big deal.
Yeah, it's stuff we're all gonna start going over, huh?
Yeah, so that's just for you guys to start looking at. I figured maybe if you guys wanted, you could think about it the next 2 weeks, and the next meeting, go over what numbers you came up with. But we also have to figure out the schedule for reviewing budgets with departments and how to go about that. If we want to do one big thing and have the budget committee included so that they can meet with them at the same time, rather than having a bunch of appointments happening all through October and November.
Yeah, there was a couple of years, didn't you have a meeting in one day and knock them all off?
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's difficult to do, but the other side of that coin was they're all done then.
Right.
I don't know if we are able to do that or not, but maybe instead of one day, it could be, a couple of big sessions. I don't know, but I'm willing to listen to that, because I know when they come in drips and drabs, it seems like there's no sense of urgency with some of the departments that keep kicking the can down the road. And I have a feeling we have a couple departments that might be trying out new soccer shoes.
I would suggest, going back the way, try to do it all in one day, that way there, your budget committee can be here to hear, so they can prepare to, for when
Right.
they meet.
So when you do that, that's a selectmen's meeting, the budget committee's just there to listen in, is that how that works?
Yeah.
Because they're not making any decisions by
No.
themselves, but do the selectmen make a decision that day? Or do they wait till the, do they mull it over and then come back to it before?
Yeah,
Usually make a decision that.
that day,
Okay, just to get it,
yeah, just to get it rolling, because it makes it easier for the budget committee to hear the input, because then they're gonna have questions of their own
they are.
to, because they don't get to review.
Yeah, if you wait till the end, then somebody's budget's gonna get cut, and there's gonna be no time for an appeal.
Right,
So we wanna make sure that the departments have a fair shot at getting what their budget is.
right,
And so, yeah, the sooner the better.
yeah.
So we're leaning towards like an all-day workshop then?
Oh, it's painful sounding. But,
Yeah.
whatever it takes, I'm
A
willing to-
one-day workshop.
Yeah, one,
One day,
and done.
one and
Yeah.
done. Okay, I'll look at how we did this schedule 2 years ago, I still have that. Cindy had created like a whole list streamlined with people having assigned appointments. I can look at it and kind of,
So we're the only ones that are here all day, departments can come and go
Yeah.
as required.
they kind of get their time slot that they can show up and.
Okay.
We're looking at something in October, because they have until the end of September,
Okay,
so I can bring that back to the next meeting.
okay, yeah,
Okay.
sounds good.
Highway surplus vehicles.
So that was something that Ed wanted to talk about.
well, we talked about getting rid of vehicles, and I just don't wanna see it go by the wayside. Somebody mentioned something about using the state auction to dispose of it,
Have we ever used that before, state auction?
no.
I mean, do we have to get our vehicles down there for
Yes.
the auction? Will
That,
that-
that's my issue.
Can we advertise them and go with sealed bids and just get rid of them that way?
Yeah, we can, but
That
Probably better.
I'd just rather see something happen.
You want to see, yeah, one way, you don't want to see nothing happen,
Right,
so we want to do
Yes.
something.
yes,
I say, I would be in favor of a sealed bid, let's list what we want to get rid of and put it out, advertise it.
Yeah.
and Seal bid and get it out of here when we get a bid on it.
right.
I'm not even sure how many items we have, but we have enough.
Yeah,
Truck, tractor.
the roll.
I think they started tearing apart the roller.
Do you want me to get
The
an
old
inventory from
roll-off?
Jeff?
No, the roller.
Yes, please.
We have a roller,
Yeah.
it doesn't work there.
It used to, sorta.
And we have the roadside mower, which is gonna be somebody's lawn ornament,
Yeah. Not ours.
not ours. We don't wanna put any more money in that. In fact, we tried, nobody wants to take our money for that.
So I had 3 things come in today, after I had printed all the agenda stuff. So Jeff had dropped off a quote to get truck 2 repaired, for $20,104.19.
Ouch, ouch,
Yes,
ouch. So this is, what year is this vehicle?
15,
15 years
Oh, I
old?
thought it was a 2010.
9 years old,
It's not, so it's not even that old.
no.
So So we need to get it fixed.
Yep.
Just because we keep buying international, or just a thought?
They keep getting beat on.
That's our,
So do we have funds that we can use to,
Jeff
So-
mentioned the FEMA money.
Yeah, Jeff got awarded that FEMA money from the 2023 disaster, which was refunding the expenses that he's spent on materials for repairing that road. Can we use that?
are we on the hook to FEMA? Are we obligated to,
I mean, the expenses for the road repair were already made.
yeah, so we're just being reimbursed for that?
Yeah.
So we paid for that out of our budget last year?
Mm-hmm.
So that's, okay. So we're free to spend that. So we have a source of revenue for that. So I would say I'll make a motion that we use the FEMA money to pay for the repairs of that vehicle.
Second.
Ed?
Yep.
Okay, and then I got the MS1 from today.
So the MS1 is required before they, the DRA can
Yeah.
set the tax rate?
Yes, I
Final
think we need,
process.
yeah, it's that and then MS 535, which I have both. I have
So we have the
that.
535 and we have the MS1, and that's
Yeah.
what they require, so they won't be waiting on us.
Right,
Most
They'll just be
likely,
waiting on the school.
they'll be waiting on the
We
school.
were waiting on Avatar.
And we were waiting on
we were
Avatar.
waiting, yeah.
Yeah.
I ended up having to call again today and then just,
Well,
Could you remind us what those are, please? The MS1 and then 535?
so the MS1 is what Avatar uses for I believe the property evals.
Is it valuation?
Yeah.
I think it's
Yes.
a total of that.
It should say
Yeah.
right under MS1, whatever the form is, it should say what it is.
Probably
Yeah,
so.
summary inventory evaluation.
Valuation,
So
thank
is
you.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the words and it's like, and then MS 535 is the financial report of the budget. So that's what gets completed after we have our audit completed. The auditors will go in and do
okay.
that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So that was for the period through December 2023.
Have any of us been to a school board meeting at all this year?
No.
No.
I watched their September, their August one about the buses.
Are they all on YouTube? Are they all?
Yeah. I think you can get it through YouTube, but you can also go right to the school website, the SEU website, and
Okay.
watch them there. Yeah, and then, well, this is kind of, this one into correspondence, but this is the, from Department of Safety, for that Wild Meadow culvert grant. And this is just the sign, need to sign the acknowledgement of programmatic requirements for the Grafton Wild Meadow culvert. Oh my God. So this is just all part of that process. I think we're almost there with it. It's been going on since
Since
I started.
before I was.
I'll believe
even-
that when I see it.
That was
Exactly.
Steve that started out before I was even.
Yeah. That was a decent job.
Probably about 3 people left still living on that road that lived there when that project started.
So, and then there's the rest of them. As we start getting these requests for money for the health agencies like
Yeah.
West Central and stuff, I made a category on our budget spreadsheet where I'm adding them in there so that we have it all in one place
Okay.
where they weren't in the past. so I was like, I need it in one spot.
Okay, that sounds
First
very
project.
organized to me.
Okay, first one, well, West Central Behavioral Health. Is them every year.
Yeah, I highlighted what they're asking for.
Yeah, they're requesting $1,400. Email from the CIP meeting, committee. Town department officials, in March 2024, Grafton voters approved a committee to create a capital improvement plan to aid the select board and budget committee with the annual town budget per RSA 674:5. CIP will help anticipate high cost purchases and avoid unexpected large expenses. The purpose of the CIP is to identify the town's existing and planned capital assets with a value of excess of $10,000. A CIP would include the replacement cost of town vehicles, fire equipment, and other high cost assets. The purchases identified in the CIP are not mandatory, they are recommendations for prioritizing large expenses. The CIP committee needs your help to identify the current and anticipated high cost assets in your department. Regarding the information with an attached survey. You may choose to complete the survey electronically or use the paper version. We also invite you to attend a committee meeting to share your ideas in person. The CIP committee meeting meets on the fourth Thursday at 6 p.m. in the town hall. Thanks for your advice and cooperation in the CIP meeting. Andover is doing their zoning board of adjustments. Be Tuesday, September 17th, 2024. They have to notify all surrounding towns.
What are they doing?
Cell tower?
Yeah, it's a
Antenna.
Vertex Towers, a special exception.
And that's the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, they just had a couple different meetings on it. Is that it?
Other comment time.
I wasn't sure if you were acknowledging me or not, or just gonna stare at me, or there was someone behind me.
There.
Cindy Cudler, I had, first question is, when will the tax deed auction be?
So, last I talked with them, we were targeting December 7th. And I need to circle back with them because they need to firm it up and they haven't heard back since.
So, thank you. And just a thought on that, the excess vehicles for the highway department, I wonder if they could auction those off with the tax deed properties. I don't know if they do, other things as well, just a thought.
I could
Yeah,
ask.
that's cool.
It's worthy of a question, yeah, you never know.
Might be easier than sealed bids, and then you're not at fault for what happens.
We don't, yeah, we're,
I also wanted to ask, whatever happened with the Millbrook tax exemption for this year? You just got something that Avatar sat on for 5 months. Are you still waiting on Millbrook as well?
Yeah.
Do you want me to answer that?
Sure.
I do have an update for that. So Avatar had to meet with the pastor, and he met with him, and now I'm waiting for my letter of recommendation. So,
All right. Aren't there repercussions for not getting all this done in time?
You're talking Avatar.
I don't know.
so if, from what I understand, technically if they don't have an answer by September 1st, it defaults to a denial,
Right,
and then they can then
appeal.
appeal it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Need my translator today. Okay.
I have one, sorry, Jake, I can wait.
Which vehicle was this that was damaged? It's the highway department truck.
Which truck is damaged? Needs to be repaired?
That needed to be repaired, yeah.
One of the 10 wheelers.
Excuse me?
one of the 10-wheelers.
The 2015 model, only 9 years old.
What happened to it?
It wouldn't
It's just
start,
as- Yeah. a few
Check
months
engine
ago.
lights came on, it was not.
Alright, so just one more thing, last meeting I was at early August, you guys tabled a building notification, I think it was the one for Merle. Didn't you guys table that because of the septic, there was some question on the septic,
no,
No, we didn't table that.
you didn't table that one?
No, we tabled Roger's
deputy
fire.
That was
Okay.
it, thank you, has that
Yeah.
come back to the, because I haven't seen it on the agenda as being revisited?
Yeah, last meeting, it came back.
It
Last
came back
meeting.
last
Last
week.
meeting, it came back with all the,
And was approved?
information correct,
Yes.
it is.
Oh, okay, thank you.
I'm curious about the current use application, so Avatar had that for half a year. When they add their map, does it go back to Avatar, or does that, can you, just wondering about the process, does it, do they need to send that back to Avatar now, and then potentially wait another 5 or 6 months for Avatar to recommend that you now approve because they put their map sketch in?
Yeah,
And is that
so
anything you have any control over, just out of sympathy for this person who's been waiting?
it's me
since
prodding
March?
Avatar. It's really me prodding Avatar. Is what it's been this past few months to get things done.
So you have no power to say, we got a denial recommendation and then we got the addition they recommended and now we can approve it?
Well, when you apply for it, doesn't it say on the application you need a map?
It does.
It does.
But
So
they
they
sat on
needed
it.
a map.
6-month penalty.
Yeah,
So when Avatar does their recommendation for current use, they put in I believe a figure in there, that has to be plugged into the system. So that's why we have to get a response from them, because they tell us what we're putting in.
Thank you.
Yeah.
but to follow up on that question, the thing is, like, when they apply, that means that it would apply to the 2024 tax year, right? So like, I don't know how that's gonna be handled now. Suppose the map goes in, does that mean now they have to wait till 2025 to actually get the tax benefit?
Yes.
Okay, well, then in that case, there's lots of time for them to do that, because they've already missed the year. But it's unfortunate that they didn't have a complete application to begin with.
It's unfortunate that it was accepted, honestly.
Yeah, that it went that far, yeah, right.
You should have never went to
Should've been
Avatar if it was incomplete.
Jody Ivy, by the way.
Thank you.
I live here.
Perfect. Final comments from selectmen?
I met with the resident 2 weeks ago, complained on the road on Folks Crossing. I met with them, along with the road agent that week. I now met again with the road agent and Bobby Senna this morning. And we spent 2 hours looking at the situation over, and I'm going to be meeting with the 2 landowners hopefully this weekend, and we see if we can't resolve the issue that popped up.
That's good. Now, did Bobby Center originally put that culvert in?
No,
That was
that
Jim
was
Phelps?
Bobby Bassett that put it in.
I was told that that's not the case because that road was washed out.
But
back in-
Bobby Bassett took and put it in under conditions of FEMA, is when that, back in
Nobody wants to take
2004.
credit. I remember that storm, and I remember how washed out that road was.
Right,
And then I know that when we have storms like that, it's not always the road agent that actually does it. So
right.
I don't know. But
Well,
that's the 3rd person I've heard that put in that culvert.
well,
I've heard, I've been right around the horn, and it's like, it's, so-
right, but the landowner took it, acknowledged that it was Bobby Bassett.
okay.
Bobby Senna today acknowledged that it was put in by Bobby Bassett. what Bobby Bassett, what you may be, somebody misinterpreting to you is there was a sway when the culvert came out.
Yeah,
And that's part of the problem, is the sway hasn't been taken care of, so there's trees that come down, and it's detoured the water from the way it was going.
okay.
Uh,
So we're gonna remediate that.
Yes,
And I hope at not a large cost either.
no, it's,
And the road agent's
yes, the
up to date with what's going on. And
he was there with me and
He's
Bobby, because the landowner was insistent that there was a contractor that knew what he was doing to advise the job,
Okay,
and,
so the landowner would feel confidence in the answer.
right,
Okay.
Yep.
So it looks like it's taken a positive step.
yes.
Result, okay. Sounds like we're gonna have another problem up on Bullocks. But we'll wait till we hear from the landowner on that one. That's further upstream.
Right, yes.
They're never ending, the
No.
road issues that we have. I have no final comments.
Perfect. Motion adjourned.
Second.
Yep.